Jeff Bezos is known as the founder of the world's largest e-commerce store, Amazon. He grew the company from a small online bookstore in 1994 to what it is now. Amazon has everything you may need, from auto parts to zoom lenses. You can even do your groceries in Amazon Fresh, and they'll be delivered to your home in a jiffy. Amazon isn't just an online store. It even operates a fleet of delivery planes, including 11 recently bought Boeing 737-600s. The company acquired the aircraft from Delta and WestJet, two airlines that were severely hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. Also, Amazon is testing out its drone delivery service. With that, small items can be delivered to your doorstep in 30 minutes or faster. As of December 2020, Jeff Bezos is worth $182 billion, making him the richest person in the world. He even has a bigger net worth than Elon Musk. Both of them, though, are wealthy enough to have their own rocket companies. If Musk has SpaceX, Bezos has Blue Origins. Oh, and did you know that Bezos also owns the Washington Post? Yep, he bought the newspaper for $250 million in 2013. He's that rich. But recent news about Bezos has rocked Wall Street and the rest of the financial world. It's been said that the Amazon founder is leaving his own company. Why would he do that? What happened? Was he booted out of Amazon just like Steve Jobs was kicked out of Apple? Let's find out more about Jeff Bezos' Amazon journey. Genius in the making. Jeff Bezos was born on January 12, 1964 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. As a child, he loved tinkering with electronics. He would often make gizmos using things from his parents' garage. When he was a teen, Bezos and his family moved to Miami. There, he fell in love with computers. He was particularly smart, and he graduated at the top of his class in high school. He even started his first business that time. It was called the Dream Institute, which offered educational summer camps for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. Because of his passion for computers, Bezos then studied computer science and electrical engineering at Princeton University. In 1986, he graduated with flying colors, garnering a summa cum laude. Early success. After he graduated, he worked in several Wall Street companies. In one company called D.E. Shaw, he became the company's youngest senior vice president in 1990. Despite making good money in his corporate job, Bezos decided to quit 4 years after. He then moved to Seattle and made plans to venture into the e-commerce world. On July 16, 1995, Bezos launched Amazon.com as an online bookstore. He made the launch after asking a whopping 300 friends to beta test the website. Before that, Bezos and his team were already busy developing software in his garage. Later on, they expanded into a 2-bedroom house. In the first 30 days of Amazon going live, it sold books not only in the US, but in 45 foreign countries too. In his second month, Amazon sales spiked to $20,000 per week. That's a whole lot more than what Bezos and his team expected out of the company. Then, in 1997, just 2 years after launch, Amazon went public. Even with its huge success, the startup still faced fierce competition from larger retailers who put up their own e-commerce sites. Amazingly, the glistening startup overtook its competitors 2 years later. By this time, Amazon became an industry leader in e-commerce. Eventually, Amazon diversified its product line. In 1998, it not only sold books, but also CDs. Later on, the company partnered with different retailers and sold clothes, toys, electronics, and other products as well. Here's something more remarkable. Jeff Bezos started Amazon during the dot-com bubble of the 90s. Lots of other companies ventured into e-commerce but failed miserably. Amazon was one of those who thrived, reaching sales of $510,000 by 1995. Amazon's success kept soaring over the years. By 2011, it had amassed a whopping $17 billion in sales. 7 years later, the company was valued at more than $1 trillion. That made Amazon the second company to hit the trillion mark after Apple. Now, Amazon is no longer just an online store. It has expanded into one of the biggest cloud service providers in the world in the form of Amazon Web Services. Several websites today use AWS, not just those involved in e-commerce. Paying it forward. Because of Jeff Bezos' huge wealth, he has more than enough money to give away. In 2017, he even asked his Twitter followers for advice on how to donate some of his money. A year after, he founded the Bezos Day One Fund. Its mission is to fund existing nonprofits that help homeless families, as well as to create a network of new nonprofit preschools in communities where families earn low incomes. Bezos gave away $2 billion of his own money to the fund. The launch of the fund came with some controversy, though. A lot of people have criticized him publicly for his lack of charity efforts, being one of the world's wealthiest people. Putting up the Day One Fund was Bezos' first stint at philanthropy. His next joint venture involved healthcare for employees. In 2018, Amazon teamed up with JP Morgan Chase and Berkshire Hathaway to set up a new healthcare company. This would benefit U.S. employees of the three corporations. According to a press release, the new company would be free from profit-making incentives and constraints. It would focus on technology-based solutions to increase satisfaction for patients while reducing healthcare costs. Bezos said, "Hard as it might be, reducing healthcare's burden on the economy while improving outcomes for employees and their families would be worth the effort." That's not all. Last year, he launched the Bezos Earth Fund in an effort to help fight the damaging effects of climate change. Bezos allocated $10 billion to the fund. Also, he mentioned he would give grants to scientists, NGOs, and others whose efforts would help preserve and protect the natural world. Space. The final frontier. Jeff Bezos is not just in the business of selling stuff online. As early as 2000, he founded Blue Origin, which is his own aerospace company. Its aim is to drastically reduce the cost of space travel, eventually making it more accessible to ordinary customers. But no one has heard much about Blue Origin for 16 years. Then, in 2016, Bezos invited the press to visit the company's headquarters in Kent, Washington. There, he shared his vision of humans colonizing space. A year later, Bezos committed to sell $1 billion in Amazon stock annually to fund Blue Origin. In 2019, Bezos announced the Blue Origin moon lander as well as the New Shepard rocket. He mentioned that the rocket was going through test flights and its aim is to take tourists into space, but just for a few minutes at a time. Stepping down as CEO. Just this month, Jeff Bezos announced that he will no longer be the CEO of Amazon. He will still be part of the company, though as executive chair. His replacement is the chief executive of Amazon Web Services, Andy Jassy. Jassy has been part of Amazon since 1997. He built the company's web services section, which started out as an add-on for its e-commerce operations at the time. Now, AWS accounts for about 60% of Amazon's profits and has become a global leader in cloud computing. With that, Jassy is an excellent choice to lead Amazon into the future. Bezos told his employees why he's stepping down as CEO. In a memo, he wrote that this will give him the time and energy he needs to focus on the Day One Fund, the Bezos Earth Fund, Blue Origin, the Washington Post, and his other passions. This announcement did not go well with Wall Street, though. It makes sense because it came at a time where Amazon is valued at about $1.7 trillion. Today, it is one of the world's most valuable companies. A CEO of such a high-performing company suddenly stepping down doesn't often bode well. If the founder's vision isn't at the heart of the company anymore, the company usually changes course. Some investors could have feared the same thing for Amazon. Brian Olsavsky, Amazon's chief financial officer, allayed this fear. "I will reiterate, Jeff Bezos is not leaving. He's going to be executive chairman, super important role, super active in the Amazon success story." So even if Jeff Bezos isn't the CEO of Amazon anymore, he still has a lot in store for us. Who knows? In the near future, we could be riding one of his Blue Origin rockets into space, and we hope our world would be a better place thanks to the efforts of his Earth Fund.